Hey everyone, it's Jorik. Welcome back. I hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world. For those of you doing apartment hunting in Lisbon, Portugal, maybe you're doing some house hunting, you may be trying to figure out, gosh, if you're looking to rent something for satisfying your D7, D8 visa, why is it so expensive? Why is it hard to find a place? I'm looking for certain amenities, I just can't find them. I want to go through that and talk about it a little bit because we spent 5 years there, so we know firsthand what it's like trying to find the right place. Also, I helped expats for much of that time get help with immigration paperwork, help them find properties and secure properties. So I looked at a ton of properties and it's all over the map. So I'm going to start with a few things that are pretty common sense when you're looking for properties. It's usually price, location, amenities, things of that nature. So maybe you want to be around the tourist action, you want to be in some of the hot spots or the new emerging spots in and around Lisbon. Maybe you want just a quiet residential experience where things are quiet at night, you can go out, you don't hear anything other than maybe a little bit of light traffic, maybe you hear some jets overhead, but that's it. I will say this. At first hand, as you're looking at Idealista and some of the other real estate websites for that perfect property, if you're going to want something that has everything that's on your list and you're going to check the boxes and you're going to, yep, I got all of that stuff. My guess is you're going to probably need to spend about 3,000 or 4,000 euros a month in rent. I don't know necessarily if you're going to buy something. I would say probably maybe 350, 400,000 and up euros to be able to find something that is the area that you're looking for, has the amenities that you're looking for. And what I mean by that, maybe the number of bedrooms or the number of bathrooms, having heat and AC. Maybe you want an apartment that has a lift, an elevator or two in it. Some apartments, if you're looking for, if you want like a security service, someone downstairs that's watching who's coming and going, maybe a parking spot, maybe not. So again, I'm speaking specifically about Lisbon, but it can get really dicey when you're trying to look for things. And although there's thousands of apartments available, and there are some homes available for you to be able to look at, it's really all over the map as far as quality, construction quality, how much renovation would need to be done, and really the amenities. Often it comes down to the price. Where is it at? Am I close to trains, buses, trams, a metro, a subway? Does it have parking if I do have a car or a garage? Those are the basics for sure. But I want to go through something that we did when we were looking over a few scouting trips. Just kept looking and we'd find a place, not the right area. We'd find another place and we were hoping for 2 bedrooms. Find another place and some of the appliances, we would have had to have purchased the appliances. Find another place and gosh, it's an okay area, but the price point was just more and we just couldn't negotiate that. So as you're looking at places to live, you're trying to rely on a real estate agent, or maybe you're working with a couple of people to give you proper information. I will say I've looked at hundreds of properties and in person, and the pictures didn't match the description. So the size of the property was way off, or it's a 2-bedroom, but it's only a 1-bedroom. So it's a T2, but it's only a T1. The square meters really off. Gosh, I went in the property just before we moved back. It said it had a balcony out front and a terrace in back, and it had neither. And it didn't have any photos on Idealista. It just had a description. So I was a little curious about that. I would be skeptical sometimes of real estate agents. I would try not to hitch yourself to one particular agent. I would play the field a little bit. because I've worked with a lot of them over the years, and I don't necessarily trust that the information that they're giving is accurate and truthful always. And I don't necessarily think it's their fault. I think many of them have never sold or rented a property, so it's just they don't know what they don't know. But if you're considering a place, you're going to go through dozens of places. That would be my guesstimation and my thought to you. So as you are home in your home country and looking on a laptop like I am right now as I'm making this video, as you're looking at these properties, you do need to see them in person. And I really think there are people that still do sight unseen or a virtual visit where the real estate agent or the landlord will show the property on their phone, send it to you, and then you do the deal. I really think it's worth it that you come and see what you're getting into. And I'm going to bring up, I know I'm a few minutes into this video, but I'm going to bring up a couple that we lived close to in Lisbon called Honeymoon Always. And Michelle and Dan, they're fantastic people. I'm going to put their information in the description as well as in the pinned comment of where you can find them, their website, as well as their Instagram page, because they're really active and they've got some great information on that page. But they're travel advisors and they travel all over the place. They're based for the time being in Lisbon. And just recently, they went through and it was over 30 apartments that they looked at before they could find one that they settled on. And mind you, they lived in Lisbon. They already had an apartment, but based upon some challenges, which they can explain when you connect with them, they ended up going and traveling for a few months, actually several months, I think. And now they're back in Portugal looking to find kind of the right place for them. And you may go, it's not going to take us 30 apartments to look at. I'm going to tell you it may, because if you think of how many apartments you're looking at just online to whittle down and find something that looks good, you probably have already looked over 30 or 50 or more. And then going in person is really, really important, because there's things that you're going to pick up that maybe the photos and the descriptions may not. Mold, for one thing. So looking in the cabinetry, looking in the bathroom, on the walls. Also, the structure itself. So for example, I'm going to stick with apartments for this video. If you're in an apartment building, what does the exterior of the building look like? Because it's not just the apartment that you're renting. It's also the structure itself, the staircase, the elevators. Are they working? What does the roof look like? That's all important. And you may go, well, Jorik, we're not paying for any of that stuff. You may or may not be, depending on how the rental contract is written. But where I'm going with that is, let's say you find a place of your dream online and then you go to move there and the stairs aren't in great shape and the elevator's out. Okay, well then that throws a monkey wrench into what you were buying, or what you were renting. So I really think that it's worth getting on a plane, getting on a train, bus, car, wherever you're living at the moment, wherever you're going to go in Portugal, go there, spend some time there, and go look at a bunch of properties. As you're doing your scouting trip, as we call them, much of your day should probably be checking out where you're going to live, as opposed to necessarily eating and drinking and enjoying the beach or other amenities. That's certainly something to do, but I think priority number one is figuring out where you're going to live, and in this case, where you're going to be in Lisbon, because again, the price range can be all over the place. And as I mentioned, about 3,500 euros and up, you may find all of the things you're looking for when you're spending that kind of money per month. But many properties, let's say the 1,200 to 2,500 euro range, maybe up to 3,000, it's the Wild West of what's available based upon the location, based upon the amenities the property has, how old or new it is, what's around it, what type of attractions, what type of grocery stores, infrastructure. So as you're making your decision on Portugal, make sure you get there. Please go follow Honeymoon Always, because again, they're there And as they do post a lot on their travel business and what they're doing, they also post, especially on Instagram, much about Lisbon and Greater Portugal when they travel around. So you can find out and follow their journey on their apartment hunt and get up to speed on that, but also the latest, greatest places to eat. They do a really good job. They go out to all the cool new joints and the established great ones in the city. But please check them out, because they are just one example of something that we experienced when we went to buy something. Had to go through a lot of places. And what most people's experience is when they're moving to Lisbon, they have to go through a lot of properties and view them to be able to find the one that speaks to them the most. Could you do it all online? Yes. Have people done it? Probably. But my guess is you're going to be able to look, you're going to have to look, at a lot of places before you make your decision on that perfect spot to set up shop for 1, 2, 3, 5 years or forever when you move to Lisbon. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the channel, and enjoy your travels.